Most men don't realize this, but after 60, something begins to happen every single night that slowly robs them of their strength. It doesn't come with pain. There's no loud warning. It just slips in while you sleep. You go to bed thinking you're resting, recovering. But inside, your body may be breaking down, quietly. See, after a certain age, the body switches how it uses energy at night. Instead of rebuilding like it used to, it starts pulling from its own reserves. Not just fat or stored sugar. I'm talking about muscle tissue, hormones, blood vessel lining. Especially the blood vessels that fuel your energy, your focus, and yes, your intimacy. I can't count how many men I've spoken to who tell me, Dr. James, I sleep just fine. I don't wake up in the middle of the night. I feel alright in the morning. And yet, a few weeks later, they admit something feels off. They're not waking up with the same energy. That edge they used to have, the drive, the confidence, it's faded. It's not in their head. It's in their bloodstream. Because while they slept, their body, starved of the right nutrients and support, couldn't repair what mattered most. So instead, it broke things down to survive. That's what I call the silent breakdown. You don't feel it happening. But over time, the effects stack up: weaker circulation, slower response, a growing sense of distance between who you are now and the man you used to be. And the scariest part? Most men blame age. They think it's normal. I'm just getting older. But they're wrong. It's not age. It's the lack of support during the one time your body is supposed to be healing, while you sleep. I remember one patient, Kevin, 67 years old, former firefighter. Strong guy, still went on morning walks, still had that fire in his eyes. But he told me, "Doc, something's off. I feel like I'm fading, and I don't know why." We took a look. His daytime habits were fine. It was his nights that were slowly draining him. No fuel before bed. No circulation support. Nothing to help his system repair. It's like trying to rebuild a house without wood or nails. The body wants to fix itself. But without the raw materials, it can't. So instead of waking up stronger, Kevin, and thousands of men like him, wake up just a little weaker every day. That's the truth no one tells you. Not your doctor. Not your buddy at the gym. Not even the ads on TV. But once you understand this silent breakdown, you can stop it. You can feed your system what it's been missing. And the moment you do, your body begins to shift, fast. So now that you know what's happening while you sleep, the next question is, how do you know it's already happening to you? Because by the time the signs are obvious, it's already taken hold. Let's look at the early signals. Your blood flow may already be slipping, even if everything seems fine. It doesn't hit you all at once. That's the trick. At first, it's something small. You don't wake up with that familiar morning firmness like you used to. You brush it off. Maybe you didn't sleep well. Maybe it's stress. Then, your feet start to feel colder at night. You shift around in bed trying to get comfortable. Your legs cramp up more often. Nothing big. Just annoying. A few weeks later, you notice it takes more to get in the mood. More time, more effort, more stimulation. And even then, the response isn't the same. Still, you tell yourself, "I'm just tired," or "It's probably the weather," or the classic, "It happens to every guy my age, right?" I've heard it 1,000 times. And every single time, I say the same thing: your body is whispering. Because before it ever screams with full-blown dysfunction, it always whispers first. Fatigue that doesn't go away with sleep. A foggy mind that makes you feel like you're one step behind. Waking up stiff, not just in your joints, but in your spirit. Less sensation when you're with your partner. Needing more to feel less. These aren't just normal parts of aging. They're signals. Early warnings that your blood flow is slipping. I think about a man named Ray, 72 years old. Still sharp, still funny, still married to his high school sweetheart. But something had changed. He came in one afternoon, sat down, and after a long pause said, "Doc, I'm not broken, but I'm not whole either." That hit me. He wasn't complaining about pain or illness. He was talking about that quiet drift. That sense that something essential was slipping away. And he was right. We ran some simple tests. His circulation was slowing, especially in the lower body. His nitric oxide levels were low, meaning his blood vessels couldn't open the way they used to. The worst part? He was still doing everything right. Walking. Eating okay. Taking his meds. But no one had told him to look for this. Because men like Ray don't just want to survive. They want to feel like themselves again. And that starts with seeing the signs for what they are, not weakness, not failure, just signals that it's time to give your body what it needs. The good news? Once you see the pattern, you can change the outcome. But the longer you ignore the whispers, the louder the consequences become. So now that you know what to look for, let's talk about why this is happening in the first place. Because what's causing this breakdown isn't just age. It's something you're doing, or not doing, every single night. Let me show you the #1 bedtime mistake that's quietly draining your blood flow, and how to fix it starting tonight. It's not just age. That's the biggest lie men over 60 are told. You're not falling apart because the clock is ticking. You're feeling weaker, slower, and less responsive because your body is being asked to repair itself, with nothing in the tank. Here's the truth most doctors never say out loud. After 60, your body doesn't just need rest, it needs resources. See, every night while you sleep, your body enters its natural repair mode. That's when blood vessels heal, hormones rebalance, tissues regenerate. But here's the kicker, none of that can happen without the right fuel. And most men, they go to bed running on empty. They eat dinner early. Avoid anything before bed. Maybe even skip meals altogether thinking it'll help them lose a few pounds or sleep better. But what they don't realize is they're going into the most important healing window of the day, starving. And when the body doesn't get what it needs to rebuild, it starts pulling from its own reserves. Muscle. Vascular lining. Hormone stores. That means instead of repairing your circulation, your body is breaking it down, bit by bit, night after night. You wake up feeling a little more drained. A little more disconnected. And you tell yourself, it's just age. But it's not. It's a system that was built to heal, now being forced to survive. Let me put it this way, imagine trying to fix a leaky roof, but every time you climb up the ladder, someone's taken away your tools. That's what your body's dealing with. It wants to repair. It just can't. And here's where it gets personal. One of my patients, Alan, 70, used to be a marathon runner. Still sharp, still in shape. But over the years, he felt his drive slipping. His mornings felt heavy. His connection with his wife, quieter. He wasn't sick. He wasn't depressed. He was just missing one thing, support. We looked at his habits. Clean eating. No junk. No sugar. But also, nothing before bed. No protein. No circulation boosters. No nutrient support. He was going to sleep empty. Every single night. Once we made one simple change, adding a small, targeted nutrient blend before bed, everything started to shift. Because it's not about eating more. It's about giving your body exactly what it needs, exactly when it needs it. That's the key. The right fuel, at the right time. And the best part? It doesn't take a complicated routine. Just one spoonful of the right ingredients. That's what I want to show you next. The simple nightly fix that helps your body stop breaking down, and start building back up, starting tonight. It doesn't take a full meal. It doesn't take pills. It doesn't even take 10 minutes. Just one spoonful. That's all your body needs to shift from breakdown to repair. I've recommended this to hundreds of men. Guys who were ready to give up. Men who felt like the spark had gone for good. And night after night, I've watched what happens when they give their system the one thing it's been quietly begging for. Here's what it looks like. Before bed, you take a teaspoon of beetroot powder, mix it with a teaspoon of raw honey, stir it into a glass of warm water, and drink it slowly. That's it. Why does this work? Let me break it down. Beetroot is rich in something called dietary nitrates. Once inside your body, those nitrates are converted into nitric oxide, the very molecule responsible for relaxing and widening your blood vessels. That's what allows strong, healthy blood flow to reach your brain, your muscles, and yes, your most intimate areas. But beetroot alone isn't the whole story. That's where raw honey comes in. A clean, natural sugar source, raw honey helps regulate blood sugar, support hormone production, and keep your system balanced overnight. Pair that with warm water, which soothes digestion and improves absorption, and you've got a gentle, powerful trifecta. This simple blend does more than just help. It restores. One man I worked with, Marvin, 69 years old, told me he hadn't had a solid morning erection in almost 3 years. He'd accepted it. Figured that chapter was closed. But after 5 nights of using this blend, he called me. "Doc," he said, "I woke up and thought I was 40 again. It wasn't just physical, it was emotional. I feel like me again." That's what this is really about. It's not about chasing youth. It's about waking up and recognizing the man in the mirror. Feeling that quiet confidence again. That unshakable calm that comes from knowing your body still works the way it's supposed to. And yes, it all starts with something as simple as 1 spoonful. But if you want to take it even further, if you're ready to see even faster results, there are a few natural ingredients I recommend pairing with this blend. They don't replace it. They amplify it. They work with your system, not against it. And when you use them together, the change isn't just better, it's faster, deeper, and more lasting. Let me show you the 3 most effective natural add-ons that take this nighttime fix to the next level. When you combine the nightly spoonful with the right support, something incredible happens. The body doesn't just respond, it accelerates. Over the years, I've found 3 natural additions that, when paired with that simple bedtime drink, create what I call the power trio. They're easy to find, gentle on the body, and work with your system, not against it. Let's start with the first one, magnesium. You've probably heard of it. But what most men don't realize is just how essential it becomes after 60. Magnesium helps relax blood vessels, calm the nervous system, and promote deep, restorative sleep. Most older men are low in it, and they don't even know. I had a patient, Charles, 71, who told me he hadn't had a full night's sleep in over a year. Leg cramps. Random awakenings. Tossing and turning. We added a small dose of magnesium before bed, just 200 to 400 milligrams, and within days, he told me he felt like he'd slept in a cave. And here's what's important, sleep isn't just about rest. It's when nitric oxide is produced. It's when your blood vessels heal. And magnesium unlocks that repair window. Next up, L-arginine. This one's an amino acid your body naturally uses to make, you guessed it, nitric oxide. You're already getting a boost from the beetroot, but when you pair it with L-arginine, the results are more powerful and often much faster. Think of it like building a fire. Beetroot gives you the spark. L-arginine? That's the dry wood. I've had men come back and say, "Doc, it's like my hands and feet have come back to life. I can feel the warmth again." That's real circulation. That's what happens when the pipes open back up. And finally, ashwagandha. This ancient herb has been used for thousands of years to calm stress, balance hormones, and improve sleep. But for men over 60, it does something even more important. It lowers cortisol, that stubborn stress hormone that slowly chips away at testosterone and energy. 1 cup of warm ashwagandha tea before bed can do more for your recovery than a cabinet full of supplements. I recommend it to any man who tells me, "Doc, I'm tired, but I can't relax." Because when your body feels safe, it heals. When your mind is calm, your hormones follow. And when stress drops, intimacy returns. So here's the full picture. Beetroot, raw honey, and warm water for your nightly fix. Magnesium to relax the body. L-arginine to power nitric oxide. Ashwagandha to calm the mind and protect your manhood. Used together, they create a rhythm, a system your body can trust. Not a crash course. Not a gimmick. Just steady, natural rebuilding. And once that rhythm sets in, everything begins to change. Now let me walk you through how to bring it all together, step by step, so you can build a powerful, repeatable bedtime ritual that fuels your recovery and brings you back to life, one night at a time. You don't need a complete lifestyle overhaul. You don't need a shelf full of pills or a complicated plan. All you need is 10 quiet minutes before bed, and a little consistency. This is your new nighttime ritual. A simple habit that tells your body, it's time to repair. It's time to come back online. Here's how to do it, step by step. Step 1, about 45 to 60 minutes before bed, fill a glass with warm, not hot, water. Stir in 1 teaspoon of beetroot powder and 1 teaspoon of raw honey until fully dissolved. Take a moment. Breathe. Then drink it slowly. Not rushed. Not distracted. Think of it as fuel. You're not just hydrating, you're giving your vascular system what it needs to do its job overnight. Step 2, take your magnesium. A low dose, somewhere between 200 to 400 milligrams, depending on your needs. I usually recommend magnesium glycinate. It's gentle, easy to absorb, and won't upset your stomach. You'll start noticing the difference in your sleep within a few nights, less tossing, fewer leg cramps, and that rare but beautiful feeling of waking up actually rested. Step 3, add your L-arginine. You can take it in capsule or powder form, just be sure to follow the dosage on the label, usually around 2 to 3 grams. This pairs beautifully with the beetroot. You're doubling down on nitric oxide support, which means better blood flow to every part of your body that needs it most. Step 4, optional but powerful, brew a small cup of ashwagandha tea. Let it steep while you turn off the TV, dim the lights, and start to wind down. This isn't just about relaxation, it's about resetting your nervous system. When stress drops, testosterone rises. When your mind is still, your body repairs faster. Now, listen, this doesn't need to be perfect. You don't need candles and spa music. You just need a rhythm. Something you come back to every night. Something your body begins to recognize as a signal, we're safe now. It's time to rebuild. The first night, you may not feel much. But by night 3 or 4, you might notice your hands and feet warming up. You may wake up with a little more energy. A little more clarity. Maybe even a little more confidence. Stick with it for 7 nights. That's all I ask. 7 nights of giving your body what it's been missing. Because what happens next might just surprise you. Let me show you why this small ritual unlocks something much bigger, something every man over 60 deserves to feel again. The real shift doesn't happen in your veins. It happens in your eyes. The first morning you wake up feeling strong again, something inside you changes. I've seen it happen over and over. A man walks into my office after a week of this bedtime ritual. His posture is different. His handshake is firmer. There's something in the way he speaks, calm, certain, alive. Because this isn't just about blood flow. It's about you. The man you were, before the stiffness, before the doubt, before you started pulling away from the woman lying next to you every night, is still in there. He didn't disappear. He just got buried under fatigue, worry, and years of thinking this was all just normal aging. But it's not. It never was. You see, when your blood flows again, it's not just your body that responds. Your presence comes back. Your instincts sharpen. You stop second-guessing yourself. You start reaching for her hand again, not because you're trying to prove something, but because you feel like yourself again. I had one patient, Rick, 73 years old. A quiet man, former mechanic. After 2 weeks on the nightly plan, he looked at me and said, "Doc, I didn't know how much of myself I had lost, until I started to feel him coming back." That's the part no lab test can measure. The part where you start wanting again. To connect. To move. To laugh. To lead. When your circulation returns, so does your confidence, not the loud kind, but the grounded, steady kind. The kind that makes you walk taller. The kind your wife notices before you even say a word. You might think this is just about better intimacy. Or stronger mornings. And yes, that's part of it. But really, this is about not giving up on yourself. It's about refusing to let time, or routine, or quiet decline rewrite the story of who you are. And when you give your body what it needs, night after night, it remembers. It remembers how to rebuild. How to respond. How to show up. You didn't lose that man. He's just been waiting. Waiting for you to stop ignoring the signs. Waiting for you to feed the system that feeds him. Waiting for you to say, "I'm ready." And when you do, everything starts to change. Now that you understand what's really at stake, let me leave you with one final message, because your next chapter doesn't begin with a doctor or a prescription. It begins with one decision you make tonight. You don't need to overhaul your life. You don't need to chase your 20s. You just need to start, with one spoonful. That's it. One small, deliberate act before bed. One moment where you stop settling for less and start fueling the man you still are. Because this next chapter, it doesn't get written in big, dramatic changes. It gets written in small, consistent choices that stack up quietly until one day you wake up, and feel alive again. That quiet power you used to carry in your chest. It's not gone. It's just been waiting for you to feed it. Your blood flow, your strength, your closeness, they're not lost. They're just locked behind habits that haven't served you in years. But the key? It's in your hands tonight. You already know what's been happening. The fatigue that lingers. The mornings that feel heavier. The disconnect you don't talk about. Now you know why. And more importantly, you know what to do about it. So here's your move. Before bed tonight, mix that teaspoon of beetroot powder and honey into warm water. Sip it slowly. Feel it go down. Tell your body, "I haven't forgotten you." Take your magnesium. Add your L-arginine. Brew your tea if you like. But more than that, show up. For yourself. For your partner. For the version of you that still wants more from life. This isn't about fixing something that's broken. It's about restoring what's always been yours, vitality, presence, and quiet confidence. You're not too old. You're not too late. You're just one decision away from shifting everything. I've seen it in men in their 60s, 70s, even 80s. The spark returns. The connection deepens. The energy wakes back up. And it all starts with a small ritual at night, a moment of care that ripples into everything else. So if something inside you is saying, "Maybe this is what I've been missing," I want you to listen to that. Try it for 7 nights. That's all. Let your body prove to you what it can still do. If you've made it this far, I want to thank you, not just for watching, but for choosing to believe there's more life waiting for you. Because there is. You're not past your prime. You're standing at the edge of a brand new chapter, one that starts not with force, but with care. With a quiet routine. With one spoon. With one decision to show up for yourself, night after night. And if this message spoke to something in you, if it reminded you that you're not done yet, then you already know what to do. Start tonight. And if it helps you even a little, I hope you'll share this video with a friend, a brother, or someone who needs to hear it too. Because none of us are meant to walk this road alone. And if you'd like to support more videos like this, honest, grounded, and made just for men like you, consider leaving a small donation to support the channel. Your support helps us keep these messages free, real, and ad-free, so that no man, no matter his age, has to feel left behind. Take care of yourself tonight. I'll see you in the next one.